Now, today at Cartoon News, Gumby is back, got two different projects, and the fans are not happy. The second highlight of this cartoon breaking news, Baby is a Butthead, actually got greenlit for the third season. More about that later on. And the third highlight of this, Zack Snyder sort of explains on his new project of Twilight of the Gods, breaking down what the story of that animated movie, and so much more in this cartoon breaking news. Of course, this is the first time on my channel. My name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, do reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, if you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. And one of those things really does help my channel. If you don't, that's fine. If you do, thank you, because I am getting close to my main goal to 1,000 subscribers. And thanking you, all the people who put like, comment, and subscribe, and overshare my videos. Now let's get started of the cartoon breaking news. Now, today our first segment, well, not just first, dozens of segments, because last couple of days they dropped after project after project after project, especially Netflix, just sort of a crazy ride. But for right now, I think we should talk about the first thing just reappeared on my Twitter account /X, saying on ToonHub the first trailer of season 2 of The Gremlins Secret of the Mugwai, it will be out on fall on Max. I think the teaser trailer is the same thing you've seen in the first season of Secret of the Mugwai, that just sort of goes straight to the box, it opens it, and it says coming soon. And that's basically it. But at the same time, I did report this I think a month ago, if I'm correct, that I do remember one of the voice actors accidentally just said, "Oh, I finished Gremlins 2 voice acting." That it was confirmed by one of the voice actors. So this is just sort of officially confirming words. So the one question: are you excited for season 2 or not? That I am excited. I probably will cover it, but be fair, did not like the ending of season 1. That I feel was sort of kind of rushed. I mean, it's a great beginning, middle, just sort of the end. It just feel needed one or two more episodes just to smooth the story pacing. But that's probably the only complaint I have, it because that one's sort of surprisingly dark. They really keep close to the original. Hopefully they keep giving at least 2 more seasons, at least having 4. But that's just me. You are excited for Gremlins or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next segment. Now this segment is very interesting. It's from Ashley Cartoon Empire, posting on their Twitter account /X, saying this is sort of confirmed about Invisible Fight Girls will be premiering on Canada on Adult Swim from 2024 and 2025, because it was rumored that it will be put on Adult Swim, not on Cartoon Network. Even that Invisible Fight Girl was stated in the very beginning will be in Cartoon Network. This means they probably are racing Cartoon Network little by little. We just don't know, or maybe they just plans have changed. But people are sort of noticing a lot of things of Cartoon Network, that they're losing their cartoons. They're losing what original shows they have under them given to Adult Swim. So I'm wondering if they're shifting for more Adult Swim content than Cartoon Network. So yeah, this is sort of confirms it. That is kind of worrisome. You don't know Cartoon Network will live the next 2 years or even 3. There be a race and let Adult Swim be Adult Swim official channel on the Cartoon Channel anymore. So it's something shocking that is not fully confirmed, at least on the Canadian side, because this is from a Canada website from Cartoon Broom. But whatever happens on Canada reflects America, specifically Cartoon Network shows. So it says a lot. I don't know this is worrisome or not, you just don't care, or you just care with it, at least for right now, that can have this one. We just don't know how you feel. In fact, I don't know how to feel myself. Tell me down below how your own opinion about this. Now let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now I did say it will be a lot of new projects and sequels coming soon on this video because most of them come from Netflix, and this would come from straight from Netflix from X slash Twitter account posting saying Jurassic World Chaos Theory has been renewed season 2 and will premiere on fall. And that's basically it. We do not know you made this fall, next fall, or which year exactly. These will be changed because a lot of things can happen, especially in an animated project. But besides that, it's been officially announced, yeah, we got a season 2. It's sort of obvious if you know how the system works. Usually they order maybe 20 or 30 episodes, they cut it in half, and they actually give it out saying this is season 1, season 2. It's basically part season 1, part A, season 1, part B, basically. But be fair, it's still good. This says a lot how much people really enjoy Jurassic World, especially this new version. People did adore it, especially how more mature in series you really got. It really did have its chance to make it show how mature the character actually were grown. In fact, I had reviewed it. If you want to see that review in my channel, don't worry, it's not spoiler. So I just sort of talk vaguely about a little bit of everything, but trying to not to spoil the big reveal or anything. And believe me, the season finale of season 1 does have a reveal that you wasn't expecting because how convinced you are when they're trying to spin the story what happened to something. That's all I'm saying. But besides that, are you excited? Because I am. Now I got really much to say. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news. This is from Kazuka, reporting the same thing I said before. Netflix dropped the first kind of minute along representation, and one of them actually was showing Terminator Zero. That I did actually show some of the images on my community tab, linking the first couple of images, and now they just sort of the movement of the animation. But closely, Kazuka do say in their post, this was sort of produced by IGN, Skydance, and other companies with it. Of course, this will coming out on Netflix on August 29th. Now, the just a few seconds of animation of Transformers is glorious. It almost feels something from the 70s or 80s anime because it feels oozes with that sort of vibe. Especially just have maybe 2 or 3 scenes. Some guy you see a shotgun shooting a Terminator, and this Terminator just keep getting hit after hit, his face all shredded. But once more, has that sort of vibe, that sort of 70s or 80s kind of feel. But of course, you've seen Transformers. I think it was made back in I think late 80s, if I'm correct, or early 90s. So that's what it explains. It feels that sort of 80s kind of vibe because it's drenched in the 80s or late 80s. So early 90s or 80s if you want to go that direction. But besides that, I'm glad they captured the magic of Transformers, Terminator, because let's face it, last couple of sequels wasn't really good. Even the third trilogy struggled to actually give something unique with Terminator. Except for the Sarah Chronicles from Fox, that 2-season show that was really good. That's the only thing come out in the Transformers that actually was, I keep saying Transformers, Terminator, that being actually really good. Now this could be another really good adaptation of it. At least hopefully they can easily be boring, but once more, just cross your fingers. This Terminator anime series could be really good. At least really animated. I mean, you just don't know. But besides that, how you felt you seen the clip, tell me down below. Let me know your thoughts, and now talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, this one comes from Ted Mouse from their own Twitter account /X, posting, yeah, Beavis Butthead Season 3 has been greenlit. You could actually watch it on Comedy Central in 2025 from coming out on Season 3. But of course, don't worry, Season 2 is not done. We'll come out the rest of the new episodes on Comedy Central, and just wait for the reboot on June 10th on 10th. So yeah, basically that's it. That's sort of surprising that Beavis Butthead just kept going. Even that everybody thought it would be at least 2 good seasons and that's it. But with that, it's sort of surprising they keep going because let's face it, Beavis Butthead is just sort of well made. It's not a very complicated show to go into. You could drop any episode and you know what's going on. But of course, there's some people who don't know what Beavis and Butthead is. It's basically two kind of slackers, teenagers who are basically idiots. And they're sort of misunderstood to be sort of something else, genius, or they go in weird situations both idiots don't really understand. But that's basically it. It's not that complicated. It's funny if you like the characters. It's smart written outwards. But even that, how you felt? Do you like it? Do you not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next cartoon segment. No, I did talk about this I think a couple of videos ago. I'm not really sure. I think a month ago or so that actually Titmouse was sort of working on a new animated project with Annie Wow, and she started starring and producing this sort of anime series called Ching Chao versus the Underworld. That basically an animated project. It's the whole story of that project, especially a Chinese American teen living in a small town finding out a demon king is hunting her for her special abilities, even that she attempted to suppress her special abilities, trying to live a normal life. In other words, and now the demon name knows where she is and hunting her down. And that's sort of the pitch of this story. And yes, I kind of said her name incorrectly, the title of this project, but you get the idea. But besides that, I am super excited because it's Titmouse. Anything action from Titmouse is usually very high quality. That I'm not sure give my much an opinion because it's just sort of interesting they decided to go this project. But yet I have high hope for it. In fact, are you excited or not? In fact, I wasn't really sure what it come out. I thought it was be a Adult Swim project, but no, it's a sort of a Netflix project. So yay, you can see everything in one season. But besides that, that's all I can say. Now let's talk about the next cartoon project. Now, this statement sort of is an update to a something I posted in the community tab about Batman Ninja. That I wasn't sure this supposed to be a sequel or a different idea of Batman. Anime Expo on the 20 count slash X started confirming yes, this is a sequel of Batman versus Yakuza. Now, but besides that, you've never heard of this project of Batman. Basically, sort of a attempt for Warner Brothers to promote Batman in Japan, get more people invested in Batman. So if you see Batman Ninja, it's very different of normal Batman IP. That is sort of more Japanese centric. They're trying to please the Japanese audience because when Americans or Westerners saw Batman Ninja, was a lot of criticism that was never felt wasn't like our Batman, but yet it still feels like Batman. It's a lot of little dumb things that you just really don't really sure that feels like Batman. What the Robins feel like Batman or anything like that. It just sort of very weird. But remember, this meant for a Japanese audience, not a Western audience. So had to be increasing and tweaking this version of Batman to fit their taste, to get more into Batman. But besides that, I was sort of surprised they made a sequel. I'm surprised it was that popular in Japan. So it makes sense because if the main goal of this project is to make a Japanese accept Batman or be more endeared with Batman, that actually succeeded of the first project. Now, this second project in Anime Expo saying you can actually see the first clip of Batman sequel versus the Yakuza if you're interested in Anime Expo. If you're on that Pacific area or the Pacific Con, you have the chance to see that clip. But besides that, how you felt about this? Do you like Batman Ninja? You didn't like it, maybe others. In fact, I did a review of Batman Ninja. In my opinion, that was fun, dumb. It was sort of kind of like kind of a little bit like Adam West Batman. That sort of dopey, over top kind of campy, but they made it more serious. But besides that, instead of a fun ride, just remember it's never meant for a Western flavor of Batman. It's a Japanese flavor version. Just to remind you if you want to see the movie. Now, besides that, let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, this is actually a very interesting sort of segment. We're all talking about Bye Bye Bunny, that sort of project that was canceled or sort of not canceled, that the mixed messages is all over the place. But nowadays, people are linking art, images, and even songs. In fact, there was one dropped a couple days ago called Bye Bye Bunny song, especially Bugs Bunny sort of bowing out and walking away on the stage. He starts singing that sort of melancholy type of song. But all the images, songs you can find on YouTube or Twitter/X. Just put hashtag Bye Bye Bunny. But you see a lot of interesting images. In fact, someone did a sort of a combination video showing a little bit of everything what this sort of project could be and what it actually looks like. It's basically sort of a celebration of Bugs Bunny, but sort of leaving out the stage, sort of kind of semi-retiring or basically taking a break. But interesting enough, how everything feels is just sort of very melancholy, very happy and joy, till someone tempted to ruin the party to get basically one up Bugs Bunny. But interesting enough, it just feels so good, especially anything from Looney Tunes, because if they do a celebration about animation, specifically Looney Tunes, they do it sort of like Broadway nowadays. That usually every time they have an anniversary, they did it look almost like a stage performance behind the scenes of all the in or out, how what they do, what they don't do, the people who hate each other, who people have to work with each other. A lot of interesting things and interesting sort of mix up of different characters, and that's what it makes Looney Tunes so special. It's just sort of a sneak peek what the characters feel like in truth, because usually specials like this are very good from Looney Tunes. Watch any anniversary sort of behind the scenes animated project from them. It just really raw emotions, that really raw feeling that's sort of hard to describe, and that's what all the leaks, music, images trying to compel, and it feels right. The only problem is that I think, if I remember right, party still canceled, but they're still working on it. They're not sure they gotta get rid of it or not. What's more, this is what I mean. This is sort of a update. It's just sort of weird. They keep leaking. Maybe they're trying to convince Zack Snyder to keep continuing this project. If not, there'll be a lot of things out there to understand what this project could be or what it's supposed to look like. But besides that, that's all I can actually tell you about this Bye Bye Bunny project. Now let's talk about the next segment. Now this segment comes from Netflix on Twitter account/X, posting on their own account saying the twists are coming at least on 2025, adapted by Netflix. That you don't know, the twist is from the books of Roald Dahl book series. They actually invested and bought the rights of this on 2021, I remember right, or 2020, one of those 2 years, and they actually bought it. But the only problem is, it's been a couple of years, 2-3 years, nothing yet come out till the twist. Now, if you don't know about the twist or what is it, it's basically these two couple who somewhere kind of retire from the circus, who is a very horrible people, so bad that actually hate each other, just living together. They don't want up each other, doing horrible things to each other, till they decided to basically hurt some kids near their own home. And this is the point of the own pets they have, some monkeys who really thinking about how to get rid of them, and some birds who want vengeance because they ate their own friends. Now, this is basically the plot synopsis of the twist, is how they get rid of these two characters and the sort of ideas they come up with. And now, this also is interesting. This is the first time they attempted to adapt the twist. It's sort of obvious because I never read the book, but the synopsis says is sort of kind of very dark, unusually more dark than the other doll raw books. And you read the synopsis, and you're kind of like, yeah, it is kind of dark because in synopsis they say they attempted to kill the kids. They don't say any very unique words or be erased or do sort of play on words. No, no, they sure are murderers. So yeah, that is sort of interesting. I can see why a lot of people, a lot of animators don't want to touch this because it's sort of very dark. But Netflix is Netflix. They bought the rights. They going all in. Especially they do other projects in Doll Raw books uh like the series of Chocolate Chocolate Factory. They actually are making a series out of that, but we still waiting for that. But besides that, this is the first maybe adaptation of the first bot project of Dolls. Hopefully it's good. I've never read the book, so I'm not sure this be any good or not. They did show some images of the trailer of what's coming soon of 2025 and 2026 preview. There are over 150 projects. But besides that, this is one of the first ones. It looks good. I thought it would be claymation because it feel more right doing this sort of type of story. But they go into CGI. I guess CGI. That's why I've seen the images. But besides that, are you excited or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next segment. Now, this segment we kind of talk about is sort of a kind of indie short called Terrestrially Challenged from the creator of Terrestrially Doilish. I know I butchered the name, I'm super apologize. But besides that, I highly recommend this short. This short is basically alien people who sort of landed on Earth not by choice, by accident because they ran out of gas. Both of them trying to figure out, okay, we need our version of oil. What the human race has close to that. And they go to near a gas station and attempted to get oil. But interestingly enough, both of them sort of not understand humans and also all the rumors about humans are basically monstrous. So they sort of attempted to basically get gas for this gas station, trying not to convince the clerk is their aliens. And that's basically the short. And the short really is good. It almost feels something from the 2000s or early 90s. That sort of kind of straight edge sort of animation, but it meant for the adult because it looks kind of like kid friendly. It's not. It does actually cuss, but not a lot. It's not like super vulgar or anything. They have maybe 2 or 3 cuss words, but that's sort of you got hit, you have to cuss to express the pain, and that's basically the short. That just sort of slowly creeping around to get gas. And the animation just make it so worth watching. And the short is just so well made. I mean, it does feel something early 90s, late 2000s sort of feeling. That sort of kind of angle, sort of a lot of expression. It's just super well made that I highly recommend. It's just that good. Of course, just a reminder, we just sort of help our indie brethren or sisters or wherever you want to call yourself to just see the shorts because when the short is popular, more money they get, more projects they make. I'm just saying, support everything you can, but you like, watch, and comment on their own view channel. Now let's talk about the next cartoon or next cartoon project. Now, I'm going to talk about another short called Big with Love by Rainby. That is sort of a thesis project. If you don't know what that is, especially every end of the year, the animators about to graduate, they do a project together to show what they learned and what was how to work with the team. And usually there's a lot of pitch little projects, sort of theses of their own work. And this thesis is really good. It's one something is sort of mature adult using a wolf and a sheep. And you've seen the stories of the fairy tale, how the wolf eat the sheep. Using that idea by doing in the twist on this thesis of the idea, you just seen a sheep baking and a wolf preparing, knowing, showing he gotta eat the sheep. Kind of dazzle her, trying to get close to her and eat her. And that's sort of the idea stuck to your head from the very beginning. But you keep noticing something is very off. A lot of red flags. You thinking it's something about the wolf. But no, it's something about the sheep. But I can't really say what happens in the shorts. But in the very end, you'll be surprised, like, oh, that we went that direction. All right, and that's one of the theories I did enjoy. Of course, the twist you see coming if you've seen a lot of animated projects, and you see all the red flags. But at the very end, it's just sort of the execution, the dazzle, the point to get to the very end, and that executing that dazzleness make this project so well made. That I'm hoping that this new team of animators get new jobs, actually work together as another project, because this project is very good. It's very entertaining. You can find this a short project on YouTube. Watch, like, and comment down their own account. Remember, every little thing supports our animators. Even by liking, commenting does a lot. Now let's talk about the next project. Now, another one from Netflix posted on the Twitter account /X. They're actually posting Sunny Moon Cosmos Part 1 and Part 2 be released worldwide on Netflix on August the 22nd. 22 in other words. So basically, you can watch all two parts on Netflix. And basically, just be hyped. They sort of building up to this two-parter all this time. If you're watching all the Sailor Moons, in fact, I am a Sailor Moon fan, but I wasn't really keeping up with the animated movies. That I'm sort of wondering is any good. I heard that it was pretty decent, but it's sort of fast-paced. But besides that, tell me down below that you recommend me to watch Sailor Moon. Now, let's talk about the next cartoon segment. This is another showcasing from Netflix that from actually Sony posting on their own Twitter account that something that sort of let my mouth drop for a second, because this animated movie from Sony will be basically a idol becoming a bunny hunter for demons, a K-pop idol. That itself, just seeing the little clips, images of the little 1 minute sort of showcasing, just sort of asks a lot of questions. The fact everybody responding to this post from Sony, just asking why. I mean, not just why. A lot of people were sort of kind of confused. Like, they can't wrap their heads off because the idea just sounds so absurd, but yet it actually could work because this is Sony. Sony is sort of trippy making animated films. They always wanted to do something more different every single time. And this one sort of kind of makes sense for Sony animated company that they make could work. Depends what they do with it. Depends on the trailer. Let's see what the trailer shows you, because this could be really dumb and fun or really dumb and boring. Could be one or the other. There is no middle place, because this idea sounds so outrageous, so over the top. This could actually work. At least I relied of the animation to do a lot of the posing, the reaction, the action scenes, the pop idol songs. Like, they could be a trip. This one of the things. If you could give us no over dramatic, over the top action, fashion, songs. Give us everything, including with the kitchen sink, to make this actually work. Of course, that's just me. I just don't know how to react to this. Especially, a lot of people are confused. Some are really excited. Some really don't care. Some of them saying, why we need this for? Just because this is Sony. Sony does Sony wants in animated projects. Now, tell me how you felt about this. Are you excited, confused, or not interested? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next animated project. Now, this segment comes from Animation Magazine, sort of posting on their own website the new sort of Snyder project with Zack Snyder, who presented the highlights of this anime series called Twilight of the Gods. If I'm correct, this is supposed to be a movie, but besides that, it's a retelling of Norse mythology using new characters called Siegfried and Leaf, if I'm correct, that basically there are basically falling in love after this battle because Leaf sort of survived this battle. A segment was there. They sort of kind of mend their own wounds, talking about it. They fall in love till another battle came in, and I think one of them supposed to be killed. And basically, they sort of revenge to take vengeance of the other one who passed away, and that's basically the pitch of this basically story. But how I rate that sort of article, Snack Sato is very into it. That he always wanted to make this story. He finally have the chance to actually make it. In fact, this was sort of helped by the same people who made the movie My Body Left Me. If you've not seen that movie, you can find it on Netflix. Basically, it's another French animated movie that a guy loses his hand and this hand became alive and try and reconnect back to the original person. And that whole movie, you just see the reactions of the hand. Remember, this is a hand, so it shows so many emotions of a hand that's sort of very impressive. I wonder maybe Zack Snyder chose them because of that reason itself. But besides that, they're actually helping making this film. And this film feels how he explains it something like 300. That sort of over exaggeration, macho ness, so over the top. But be fair, Zack Snyder always been sort of okay director. He's always in the middle being great and being average. Depends what project you talking about. I'm talking about more than 300, not the Justice League version or Man of Steel that's sort of like he didn't have the same like the 300. But be fair, how he explained how this project was made, he was really excited because he felt he was sort of not restricted of the budget. That he have a budget, but he do whatever he wants on with reason. In other words, he could do almost crazy over the top thing he thinks of, and he could actually make it work. I feel that probably the best type of project for Zack Snyder, that sort of macho-ness, that sort of slow-mo, sort of that sweat cuts that feel so intense. I feel this is a perfect project for him. Hopefully, it's good, not that terrible. In fact, are you hyped? Because the story is simple. It's just vengeance and love, and that's it. So hopefully, it will be really good. For right now, we just wait when the trailer finally comes out. Now let's talk about the next animated project. Now, the very beginning, I did say this last 2 days been crazy because non-stop animated projects, but no one really expecting one specific project to shock everybody. That is, Gumby is coming back. If you don't know, this is from Deadline that sort of explains pretty well. Gumby is sort of a kind of claymation project that actually about adventure of Gumby, this sort of claymation character who go on adventures and sort of trying to live his life. That's basically a very simple IP that is very old. I think this is from the 60s, I think, but it only did one specific project about Gumby. They never reboot the series or came back till right now, at least in my knowledge. I know they just did one project and that's it. They never attempted to continue the series. And I think who owned it is Fox. After that, they sold it to Bento Box, who actually the same people who created Greensburg and Croptopolis, and they wanted to make a something about Gumby that's sort of kind of like Bitcoin, but not Bitcoin. It's sort of like a art museum token kind of thing. It was sort of fall apart. But besides that, nobody really thought Gumby would come back. But not just one. Now I'm gonna talk about one project, two projects about Gumby. One for little kids that Deadline is sort of breaking down. And the second is the adult version of Gumby that Deadline doesn't really have much information of it. It's all about the kid version first. And the kid version is sort of focused on our age of 8 to 12 and sort of be 2D animation. And this is the point that old fans are sort of shocked, even people who are not fans on Gumby, also questioning why make this a 2D animated project and Gumby always been claymation? It's sort of shocking, like, why do this? Why automatically does something so different than the original thing? Usually I'm okay to experiment something, but something about Gummy works is that he live his life as a claymation character. Like he knows he clay. He changes, bends, transform. He used ideas of like you have a flat tire of a toy. He becomes the tire to replace that flat tire to use to drive to point A to point B. And that's sort of the creativity of Gumby. It doesn't have much story, doesn't have this grand adventure. It's very basic, sort of slice of life adventures, words. And that's a sort of surprise they went into a 2D animation. Even the first look of the title doesn't really grab what Gumby is. It's just sort of weird. You top of all this, they ordered basically like 52, well, supposedly like 52 parts. Yeah, they say parts. You should say 52 episodes, or what if 52 parts mean? That this I'm guessing in 52 episodes, maybe a this edited now words. It says each single episode is 11 episode long, so it sort of makes sense because the original Gumby only has about segments like 7 episode segments, 10. They did make a movie if I remember correctly, but after that I think it's just sort of a cut and paste adventure of that movie that was. But besides that, sort of shocking they decided to come back. So yeah, I don't know how you felt because the fans are a little weirded out. Like, so what's the point to bring Gumby? It's not claymation, and that's the thing that people are complaining about. In fact, I'm wondering the second project of Gumby could be claymation for the adults. That's why they prefer keep it as secret and later in the future because they are working on it. But at first will be this kid version they attempted to sell that because Bento Box doesn't have a buyer yet, they're just making it for right now. So I'm guessing maybe Amazon or not maybe Amazon, Netflix, Apple TV. I'm not guessing Disney. Maybe they're desperate enough to buy this sort of show, but yet they are making an adult version of it. So I don't know if they'd be very hesitant to buy it or not. That's a tricky part because they want to sell for the adults also, but that's the next project later on when they're ready to show it. But beside that, I don't know how you felt about this. Are you excited or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Honestly, I got nothing else to say. Now let's talk about the next project. Now, this project I have to dig a little deeper to understand what this new animated project called In Your Dream was shown in the showcase of yesterday of Netflix, will possibly come out of 2025. But it was posted on this article from what next from Netflix animated projects actually says that was sort of come out last year, 2023, but was sort of delayed for 2025. So for right now, they're showing the first images and what is the pitch. Now, the pitch of this is basically a normal family who love each other, but not exactly. Like every other family has its own problems, and the only problem in this family, both parents are Barbie divorced. Now, two kids of this family, Elliot and Selfie, if I remember the names right, that basically are two kids are very opposite of each other. They don't like each other, they're brother and sister, but they actually rely a plan to go in their dreams to meet Satman. Satman hopefully is the one to help them to sort of repair their parents' relationship and actually figure out how to escape the dream world. That's basically the whole pitch of In Your Dreams. And yet, the first images were dropped. Yeah, I was sort of not impressed because it's sort of very basic sort of Pixar sort of style, but how they pitched it is all about the kids facing their nightmares and also facing all their dreams in their own reality, meaning the Sandman. So could be very creative artistically, but not animation wise. It's just sort of creatively. That could be a lot of possibilities. It also why maybe it's delayed because no more creative you are, no more delays you have to be because sometimes you come up with a better idea or a better shot of that idea and they just want to redo that again and again. Instead of having being a animator or a director that you have a lot of imagination, is that you can't stop thinking about something bigger and better. Yeah, I'm guessing this is the reason why it delayed, or the team wasn't good enough, or they're struggling to serve shot. Could be a lot of things. I really don't know what was delayed, but this one I'm sort of if about it. I'm not sure it could be really good or really bad, but I am actually interested. The art, I'm not, but the creativity could be the thing that sell this the most. I don't know you. Are you interested in your dreams as a very comical sort of action adventure kid show or kid movie? I mean, don't tell me down below how you felt about it. Now let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, another project from Netflix would happen yesterday, depends when I upload this, but basically they're showing the new animated movie called Imagination. That's sort of based on a very popular book series with the same title of The Imagination. That actually directed by uh, Yoshimukimaru. I know I misspelled her name, but she also did Spirited Away. He also Mary and the White Witch's Flower. That movie is really good. That I don't know if Netflix still have the rights showing that movie on their streaming service, but you have Netflix. I highly recommend that watching that animated movie. That one feels like Ghibli, but Ghibli can never do again. That's the best way to describe Mary and the Witch's Flower. That she is now directing the imagination of Yoshimyuki Maru, I know keep butchering their name, and also other team members who actually are working on this. But besides that, what is the pitch of this movie or what the book is based on? Basically, you follow two kids who are sort of very imaginative. They sort of live atop in the house, just laying back till sort of this magical world sort of opens and they just went in and be mind blowing all the magical or creative ideas of that world. But the only problem is when they step in this sort of imaginary world, that something spot them, and this thing want to destroy everything they create and create everything they have, and that's sort of the pitch of this sort of movie. But of course, I don't know how close adapted this in the original books, but yet this studio was sort of invested of this project. They bought the rights to make this animated movie. But besides that, that's sort of what this idea really is. And I feel this could be very confident because the same director who created Mary and the Witch's Flower that I recommend watch. If it's the same director, this could be a great film because that one you could just watch it, you'll be blown away or spirited away. Of course, she didn't directed it. I think it was Miyazaki directed that project, but she helped. That means she have a lot of experience what this director is doing. So yeah, this is the reason I have so much confidence in this film that I will watch. I don't know if I can review it, but I am very excited for this film. I know you feel very excited, you feel confident or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next project. Now, our final segment is from Deadline, best reporting that Angry Birds 3 is actually about to be made. Yeah, I'm sort of surprised they actually decided to make a third movie, Angry Birds. It's one of those franchises feels just did it for the money, for the popularity, and that's it, not for the art or the comedy. But be fair, the first one wasn't bad. The second was even better. So I hope in the third one keep wrapping the comedy, keep wrapping the story even better than the last two films. Then I hope they bring the original team to actually make this film. In fact, they do bring the same voice actors, some of the same producers. The one person I am waiting to be called back is the creator of Jellystone, the creator of Chatter. Yeah, that guy I'm talking about, that creator, he's the same one who helped did Angry Birds 2. He's the one who wrapped up the comedy. So I'm hoping they bring him back, or at least he have some spare time because he's so busy doing Jellystone that his type of comedy helped the second one to be more proficient. This is the reason why you laugh so hard of the second one. If they bring him back, this movie would be great. Of course, I wonder where else to go to this film because they did almost everything. Of course, they are adding more stuff of Angry Birds, the game, so hoping they do bring one, two new unique ideas. Of course, believe it or not, they did two spin-off series, one from Netflix that was very boring, and another one from Paramount Plus that could be also very boring, even maybe make it interesting because that next spin-off project could be more the mystery sort of animated project. But once again, we don't know. It's not come out yet. But once again, I'm more hyped of the movie than the spin-off series. But besides that, how you felt about this? Are you excited? Are you hyped? Or not really? You just done with it? Because it's one of those projects. Let's face it. Every single time they make a sequel, it gets better. So hopefully they keep the momentum going. That's all I can say. Do I miss any animated projects? Because so many animated projects was given out this week. It sort of keep up with them. But besides that, did I miss one? Tell me down below. I really got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.